Have you ever spent hours organizing only to feel like your home is still cluttered? You tidy up one shelf and somehow the mess creeps back in. You rearrange the kitchen drawers, but they still feel too full. The truth is, organizing is not the answer. Owning less is. When you declutter, you don't just create more space in your home, you create more peace in your life. And today we're going to talk about 12 things seniors keep organizing, but should really just let go of instead. Let's start with something that sneaks up on all of us, old linens and towels. It's easy to hold on to them thinking, I might need these someday, but how many towels do you really use? How many sets of sheets do you truly need? If your linen closet is overflowing with mismatched pillowcases, scratchy towels, or blankets that haven't seen the light of day in years, it's time to let them go. Keep the best, the ones you actually reach for, and donate or recycle the rest. A few good sets are all you need, and your closet will finally have space to breathe. Now, let's talk about the kitchen. Over the years, it's easy to collect an army of gadgets, extra ladles, duplicate spatulas, multiple sets of measuring cups. And let's not forget about the collection of mismatched mugs, plates, and bowls. But if you're always digging through a drawer full of clutter just to find your favorite spoon, it's time to simplify. Most people only use a handful of kitchen tools regularly. Keep those and let the rest go. Your kitchen should be a space where cooking feels easy, not like a scavenger hunt. Speaking of things we don't need, let's take a look at that tangled mess of old electronics and cords. The remote to a TV you no longer own, a drawer full of mystery chargers, that old flip phone from 15 years ago. We keep them, thinking they might come in handy, but they never do. And let's be honest, by the time you need a cord, you won't even remember which one works. The best solution? Keep only the cords you actively use, label them so they're easy to find, and recycle the rest. You'll be surprised how much space this one step clears up. Now, let's step into the closet. Clothing is one of the biggest areas where we tend to hold on to things we no longer use. Maybe it's an outfit from a time when your lifestyle was different. Maybe it's a pair of shoes that pinch your feet, but you tell yourself, you'll wear them again someday. But when you open your closet, what do you actually reach for? Chances are it's the same few comfortable, practical outfits. That's all you really need. Let go of the rest, the clothes that no longer fit, the shoes that hurt your feet, the jackets that just take up space. A simplified wardrobe makes getting dressed easier, and your closet will finally feel like a place of ease, not stress. Now, take a look at your bathroom cabinets. Expired medications, half-used lotions, old makeup, and toiletry samples from hotels that you never actually use. These things pile up quickly, and before you know it, your drawers are overflowing with bottles you haven't touched in years. Expired medications can even be dangerous. A simple rule: if it's expired or you haven't used it in the last year, it's time to let it go. Your bathroom will feel cleaner, and you'll be able to find what you need in seconds. Let's move on to paper clutter. Old bills, receipts, magazines, and warranties for appliances you no longer own. Paper has a way of sneaking into every corner of our homes. We keep it just in case, but most of it is never needed again. If you have stacks of old magazines waiting to be read or folders full of outdated paperwork, it's time to sort through them. Keep only what's truly important, digitize anything you might need later, and recycle the rest. A clutter-free desk is a stress-free desk. Now, this one might be a little harder. Sentimental. Keepsakes. We all have items that remind us of special moments and people we love. But over time, these sentimental items can start to take over, filling boxes, shelves, and cabinets. Here's a thought. Keep the most meaningful ones, the ones that truly bring you joy. Consider taking photos of others before letting them go. Your memories live in your heart, not in the things you own. Next, let's talk about furniture. Over time, we collect pieces that no longer serve us: a bulky dresser, a coffee table that takes up too much space, a chair that no one ever sits in. As we get older, our needs change, and so should our furniture. If a piece is more of an obstacle than a benefit, it might be time to part with it. A home that's easy to move around in is safer, more functional, and far more enjoyable. Another thing that clutters our homes: duplicate items. Maybe it's extra kitchen utensils, multiple pairs of scissors, or 5 sets of bed sheets when you really only use 2. Holding on to too many of the same thing just makes it harder to find what you actually need. Keep the best, let go of the rest, and enjoy the simplicity of a home that works with you, not against you. Now, let's talk about hobby supplies. Over the years, many of us have taken up hobbies that we've since moved on from. Maybe it's a collection of knitting supplies, a box of old painting materials, or a shelf of unfinished craft projects. If a hobby no longer brings you joy, It's okay to let go of the supplies. Keeping them just adds guilt and clutter. Donate them to someone who will use them and free up space for what truly matters to you now. And then there's home decor, those decorative items that once felt stylish but now feel like dust collectors. Too many knickknacks, outdated wall art, extra vases that never get used. If you're constantly dusting around objects that no longer bring you joy, it might be time to simplify. A few well-chosen decorations will make your home feel beautiful and peaceful without the visual clutter. Finally, let's talk about cleaning supplies. Many people hold on to bottles of half-used products convinced they'll finish them someday. But most of us use the same handful of cleaning products regularly, while the rest just take up space. Gather everything under the sink, keep only what you use, and get rid of the rest. A simplified cleaning routine makes maintaining your home so much easier. Decluttering isn't about getting rid of everything, it's about keeping only what truly adds value to your life. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you gain something even more valuable: space, peace, and the freedom to enjoy your home the way it was meant to be. And sometimes it's not just about physical space. It's about the weight these things carry, the silent stress they add to your day. Think about your home right now. How many things do you move around just to clean? How many drawers do you avoid opening because you know they're too full? How many times have you searched for something simple only to get lost in a pile of things you don't even use? This isn't just about organizing better. It's about stepping back and realizing that less is truly more. There's a certain relief in walking into a home that feels light, uncluttered, and easy to navigate. A home where you know exactly where everything is and every item has a purpose. No more crammed kitchen drawers, no more overstuffed closets, no more stacks of old magazines waiting for a someday that never comes. Just the essentials, the things you use, the things you love, and nothing more. It's easy to tell ourselves we'll use something again. That extra toaster, the sewing machine's been collecting dust, the second set of mixing bowls just in case. But how often does just in case really happen? If you haven't used it in years, chances are you never will. And if you do need it one day, there's always a way to borrow or replace it. Letting go of excess doesn't mean you'll suddenly be without what you need. It means trusting that life will always provide what's necessary when the time comes. And let's talk about safety. A cluttered home isn't just overwhelming, it can be dangerous. Overstuffed closets lead to tripping hazards. Crowded countertops make cooking more difficult. Too much furniture can block pathways, making it harder to move freely. As we get older, making our home safer isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. The fewer obstacles in your way, the more freedom you have to enjoy your space without worry. Letting go of things can be emotional. Sometimes we attach meaning to objects, believing they hold our memories, but memories don't live in things. They live in us, in the stories we tell, the moments we share, the love we carry forward. If an item truly brings you joy, keep it. But if it's sitting in a box, collecting dust, and only reminding you of the past instead of enriching your present, maybe it's time to let it go. Imagine waking up in a home that feels open, peaceful, and easy to care for. No more struggling to find space for new things, no more feeling burdened by the past. Just a home that supports your life now in the best way possible. That's the real goal of decluttering, not just tidying up, but creating a home that works for you, not against you. And when you do that, you don't just free up space in your home, you free up space in your mind. So take a look around. What are you constantly organizing when you could simply let it go? What's taking up space that could be better used for something you actually love? Start with one small step, one drawer, one shelf, one decision to lighten your home and your life. And with each thing you let go of, you'll feel a little lighter too. There's a powerful shift that happens when you start letting go. It's not just about removing objects. It's about making room for ease, for clarity, for the simple joy of living without so much weight around you. Imagine walking into your home and feeling nothing but calm. No more frustration from overstuffed cabinets. No more drawers that won't close because they're too full. No more shuffling piles of paper from one counter to another. Just space, openness, and the relief of knowing everything you own has a purpose. The best part is, you don't have to do it all at once. Small changes make a big difference. Maybe today you clear out just one shelf. Maybe tomorrow you let go of a few extra kitchen gadgets. Little by little, your home starts to transform. You start to feel the weight lifting, the unnecessary fading away until you're left with only what truly matters. And something else happens too. You stop feeling tied to things out of obligation. That vase you never really liked but felt guilty throwing away, the clothes in your closet that still have the tags on them, waiting for a day that will never come, the sentimental keepsakes that, if you're honest with yourself, don't actually bring you joy. They just remind you of a past you're afraid to let go of. But here's the truth. Keeping something out of guilt or habit doesn't honor the memory attached to it. It just turns that memory into clutter. And your home deserves better than that. Decluttering isn't just about what you're getting rid of. It's about what you're making space for. More ease, more comfort, more time spent doing things you love instead of managing piles of stuff. Because when you own less, you gain more time, more freedom, more energy for the things that truly bring you happiness. It's also about shifting your mindset. Instead of asking, could I use this someday? Ask, have I used this recently? Does it add to my life or does it just take up space? If you're holding on to something because you're afraid of needing it in the future, trust yourself enough to know that you'll find a way if that time ever comes. And more often than not, it won't. Imagine waking up tomorrow and knowing that everything around you is exactly what you need, nothing more, nothing less. No extra weight, no unnecessary distractions, just a home that supports you rather than overwhelms you. That feeling of lightness, of simplicity, of peace. That's what decluttering is really about. So take that first step, open that one drawer you've been avoiding, let go of the things that no longer serve you. And with every item that leaves, feel the space open up, not just in your home, but in your life. Because when you clear out what you don't need, you create room for what truly matters. And that, more than anything, is what makes a home feel like home. When you start letting go, something shifts inside you. It's not just about making space on a shelf or clearing out a closet. It's about releasing the weight of things you no longer need, things that no longer serve you, things that quietly take up space in the background of your life. Because every item in your home isn't just an object, it's a decision, a choice, something you have to manage, maintain, clean, store, or work around. And when you remove the excess, what you gain is so much more than space. You gain peace. Think about how much time is spent moving things from one place to another, searching for something buried under clutter, reorganizing the same pile over and over again. How much energy is spent keeping things in order when the truth is, there's just too much of it to begin with. Imagine if instead of constantly managing stuff, you could simply enjoy your home the way it was meant to be. A place of rest, a place of comfort, a place that supports your life rather than distracts from it. And as you declutter, something else happens. You start to see your home differently. You stop holding on to things out of guilt or habit. You realize that keeping an item doesn't keep the memory alive. The memory is already inside you. You don't need to hold on to stacks of old greeting cards or broken trinkets just because they remind you of someone. The love, the connection, the moments that matter, they don't live in those objects. They live in you. And when you let go of the things that are only taking up space, you make room for the things that truly matter. It's a powerful thing, learning to live with less. It's freeing, it's calming, and the best part, it makes life easier. No more struggling to put away dishes because the cabinets are too full. No more wrestling with a closet that won't close. No more feeling overwhelmed by the mess that seems to multiply no matter how much you tidy up. When everything in your home has a purpose, when every item is something you actually use and love, life flows more smoothly. Decluttering isn't about deprivation, it's about clarity. It's about looking around and knowing that everything you see is intentional. The furniture you use, the clothes you wear, the keepsakes that truly bring you joy. No more distractions, no more dead weight. Just a home that works for you instead of the other way around. And the truth is, letting go isn't just about the physical space. It changes how you feel. When your home is lighter, you feel lighter. When your surroundings are clear, your mind is clear. It's easier to focus on what matters. Easier to relax, easier to move through your day without the nagging feeling that something is out of place. A clutter-free home is a gift you give yourself, one that keeps on giving every single day. So what's one thing you can let go of today? One drawer to clear, one shelf to free up, one small decision that moves you toward a home that feels open, peaceful, and truly yours. Start there. because the moment you begin, you'll feel it. The relief, the lightness, the space opening up, not just around you, but within you. And once you experience that, you'll never want to go back. Letting go of clutter isn't just about your home. It's about your time, your energy, your peace of mind. Every unnecessary thing you own requires something from you. Even if it just sits there, taking up space, it occupies a little piece of your mental load. It's something to clean around, to store, to organize, to think about. And the more of these things you have, the more of your life gets spent managing stuff instead of living fully. That's why decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's about simplifying your days, making life easier, creating a home that feels lighter and more enjoyable. Imagine waking up in a home that feels open and peaceful. No overstuffed drawers, no piles of things waiting to be dealt with, no nagging feeling that there's always something that needs organizing. Just a space that works for you, that supports you, that feels good to be in. A home where everything you own is something you actually use, something you truly love, or something that adds value to your daily life. No more excess, no more stress, just the things that matter. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to clear out your entire house in a day. It starts with small decisions, one item at a time, one space at a time, looking at something and asking, do I actually use this? Does it make my life better? Or is it just here because I feel like I should keep it? Letting go isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about keeping what truly serves you and releasing the rest. And sometimes the hardest things to let go of aren't the big things. They're the little things that have been around so long, we don't even question them anymore. That drawer full of mismatched Tupperware lids, the stack of old greeting cards you haven't read in years, the kitchen gadgets you never use but hold on to just in case. These small things add up, and before you know it, they fill your space, making everyday tasks harder than they need to be. But once you start clearing them out, you'll notice a difference right away. And there's something else that happens when you start letting go. You stop feeling weighed down by the past, because a lot of what we hold on to isn't just stuff, it's old versions of ourselves, clothes that no longer fit, hobbies we lost interest in, items that remind us of a different time in life. And while it's okay to cherish memories, it's also okay to move forward, to make space for who you are now, for the life you're living today. Your home should reflect that. Decluttering isn't about losing things. It's about gaining freedom. Freedom from the stress of too much, freedom from the endless cycle of organizing and reorganizing, freedom to spend less time managing stuff and more time enjoying life. Because at the end of the day, the things that truly matter aren't things at all. They're the moments, the people, the experiences. And when you clear away the clutter, you make room for more of them. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed by the weight of too much, take that first step. Pick one area, let go of one thing, and notice how it feels, because once you start, you won't want to stop. You'll feel lighter, you'll feel more at peace, and you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner, because owning less doesn't mean you're losing anything. It means you're finally making space for what really matters. When you start decluttering, something shifts. It's not just about making your home look better. It's about feeling better. It's about walking into a room and breathing easier, knowing that everything around you has a purpose. No more drawers that barely close. No more shelves crammed with things you forgot you even had. No more feeling like you have to keep up with the endless task of organizing and reorganizing. Because the truth is, organizing isn't the answer. The answer is owning less. Think about how often you've gone searching for something only to dig through piles of things you don't need. Think about how many times you've told yourself you'll get to that cluttered corner, that packed storage closet, that box of things you've been meaning to sort through. But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and the clutter stays. It lingers, quietly taking up space in your home and in your mind. And the more you put it off, the heavier it feels. But here's the good news. Once you start letting go, you won't want to stop. It begins with one decision, one object. You pick something up and ask yourself, do I actually use this? Do I love it? Does it add value to my life? Or am I just keeping it out of habit, out of guilt, out of the belief that I might need it someday? Most of the time, that someday never comes. And in the meantime, all that extra stuff is just making your home feel more crowded, more stressful, more overwhelming. Imagine what it would feel like to clear that space, to open a drawer and see only what you actually use, to walk into a room and feel a sense of calm instead of the nagging reminder that there's too much to deal with. Decluttering is a gift you give yourself. It's a way of saying, my peace matters, my time matters. My home should be a place that supports me, not a place that drains me. And it's not just about the things, it's about what those things represent. The unfinished projects, the clothes that no longer fit, the stacks of old papers, the random objects that have no real purpose but somehow stayed. Every item you let go of is a decision to release something you no longer need. And with every decision, you get a little lighter. And it's not just about making life easier, it's also about safety. A home that's filled with too much can become an obstacle course, especially as we age. Too much furniture makes it harder to move freely. Too many things piled up create tripping hazards. Even something as simple as an overstuffed cabinet can mean extra strain, extra bending, extra work. But when your space is clear, your movements are easier, your home becomes safer, more functional, more comfortable, and that's what a home is supposed to be. It's easy to hold on to things because they remind us of the past, but the past isn't in the objects. It's in the memories, the stories, the love we've shared. You don't need to keep every little thing to honor those moments. A few cherished keepsakes, displayed with care, will mean far more than a pile of things hidden away in a box. The best way to honor your life is to live it fully now, in a space that feels good, in a home that brings you joy instead of stress. And once you feel that shift, once you see what it's like to live with less, you'll never want to go back. You'll realize that the things you thought you needed weren't really adding anything to your life, that the space, the freedom, the simplicity, it all feels so much better. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start. Let go of one thing today, then another tomorrow. And before you know it, your home will feel lighter, your mind will feel clearer, and you'll wonder why you ever held on to so much in the first place. Because owning less isn't about sacrifice. It's about making room for what truly matters. Letting go of clutter isn't just about cleaning up. It's about changing the way you live, the way you move through your space, the way you feel in your own home. Because a home filled with too much isn't a home that serves you. It's a home that demands work, time, energy, and attention that could be spent on something more meaningful. When you own too much, your home isn't a place of rest. It's a place of constant management. And that's exhausting. But here's the thing. When you start removing what you don't need, you begin to feel something you may not have felt in years. A sense of relief, a feeling of lightness, a new kind of freedom you didn't realize was possible. Think about the last time you walked into a truly uncluttered space. Maybe it was a hotel room, maybe it was a friend's house, maybe it was a time in your own home when everything was freshly cleaned and put away. How did that feel? Probably open, peaceful, like a place where you could finally exhale. That feeling isn't just reserved for special occasions. That feeling can be yours every single day when you begin to let go of the excess. Because clutter isn't just about what's sitting on your countertops or stuffed into closets or overflowing in the garage. It's about how all of that makes you feel. There's a reason why it feels overwhelming. Every item you own is a decision. Where should it go? Should I keep it? When will I use it? Every time you come across something you don't actually need, it adds another mental task to your day. And those small moments add up. Imagine how different your home would feel if every single thing you owned had a purpose. Imagine opening a drawer and seeing only what you actually use. Imagine never having to dig through piles of old paperwork or shuffle through a stack of dishes you never touch or move 5 things out of the way just to get to what you actually need. Decluttering isn't about stripping life down to the bare minimum. It's about making sure the things in your home are things that make your life better, not harder. It's about making space for what really matters, more room to move around comfortably, more time spent enjoying your home instead of organizing it, more clarity, more ease, more peace. And the best part, once you experience it, you'll never want to go back because suddenly life feels lighter. Getting dressed is easier because your closet isn't overstuffed with clothes you don't wear. Cooking is simpler because you're not rummaging through a packed drawer for the one tool you actually use. Cleaning takes half the time because there's no extra clutter to work around. Everything flows better, feels better, and so do you. And the most surprising part, it's not even about the stuff. It's about the mental shift that happens when you start letting go. Because when you clear your space, you also clear your mind. You stop feeling tethered to things out of guilt. You stop keeping items just because someone gave them to you. You stop feeling like you have to hold on to things for a version of yourself that no longer exists. You start choosing what you keep with intention. You start making decisions based on what serves you now in the life you're living today. And that's powerful. Now, this isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about keeping what truly matters and realizing that most of the rest was never really needed in the first place. It's about recognizing that memories don't live in objects, they live in you. That a clear space isn't empty, it's full of possibility, full of calm, full of the freedom to focus on what brings you happiness. The best way to start is to pick one small thing, one drawer, one shelf, one pile of papers. Let go of what no longer serves you. And once you see how good it feels, you won't want to stop because the less you own, the more space you have for what really matters. The less you hold on to, the freer you become.